Well, this new regular upload schedule is really working out pretty well for the channel. I'm pretty pleased with how it's all going, and shit.
Right, so, hello. Having a look at this Morris Marina K-Reg Mark 1 1300, which belongs to a friend of mine. She's very kindly allowed me to take this car for a spin and video it for you guys to see while she goes away for a spin and a review of the old Acclaim. Pretty cool. Apologies for wind noise, but there's not really much I can do about that. I may overdub this entire thing. I don't know. Yeah, nice car. Let's get out of the wind. So, this is a Mark 1 Morris Marina with the 1.3 litre engine, the 1275cc that you get in every BLMC car ever, Minis, Austin 1100s, Allegros, etc, etc. And this was their kind of Morris Minor replacement Cortina competitor. Came out I think in 1970-71 and ran through to 1980. This is an early car, Mark 1 K-Reg. It's an SDL, or Super Deluxe, which is one step above base, essentially. So for that you get vinyl door cappings up here instead of painted metal. You get carpets. Can you see that? Probably not. Carpets, ooh, fancy, rather than rubber mats. But no radio, and no heated rear screen, no head restraints, etc, etc. But you know, it's 1971, 1972. You don't really expect that sort of level of equipment from most cars. Twin sun visors, dipping rear view mirror, no, just standard mirror, no dipper, much like the Acclaim actually. Mirror, quite nice. Full length parcel shelf along there, and you'll notice the car is full of stuff, and that's because Steph, the owner of this car, who runs the iDriver Classic YouTube channel, this is her everyday car, and she's driven it 200 miles north to come and see me in the Acclaim. So it's full of stuff because it's used for car things, so gotta carry stuff. Quite a roomy car. It's bigger than my Dolomite inside. Similar kind of, you sit lower in this, you sit sort of back in a more relaxed fashion. The Dolomite is more upright, I think probably because it's just in a slightly older design, being mid-60s. British Leyland plug hole of doom, absolutely perfect. Same indicator and light switch as in the Dolomite, same wiper stalk as well. Heater controls, not really any idea how they work. I assume that's cold, screen, cold air to feet, hot air to feet, maybe, possibly. That's the fan. At this side we have, I assume that's headlights and the choke, porthole air vents, instrumentation, speedometer, odometer, no trip counter, and then temperature and fuel gauge. I quite like this sort of stitching effect around the instrument binnacle. It's quite nice. The whole dash is actually quite nice. This sort of soft vinyl recessed back. It's quite nice. Twin mirrors on this car. I don't think twin mirrors were standard. I don't think, well, any mirrors were standard at this age. I think they were dealer fit, either wing mirrors or door mirrors. No opening quarter lights on this, but no effort to wind up the window, nicely geared. These very funky door handles. And this is kind of a barn find car. It was off the road for a long time, and it was a 70s custom job with alloy wheels and side pipes and a jacked up arse end. And it's been put back pretty much to standard now, mostly because a lot of the modifications kind of fell apart on removal. The only thing that I think is a great loss is there was a rear window louver, which would look absolutely fantastic, but sadly it's gone. Vinyl seats, well cushioned. I mean, this car has only done 41,000 miles from new, so maybe that's why, but these seats are fantastically comfortable. Same sort of almost shag pile carpeting as the Dolomite. Oh, oh dear, back into the wind. So for the SDL, over the base on the outside, you get these chrome wheel arch trims and these stainless embellishers. The car has a bit of surface rust in places and filler and touch-ups, but you know, it's a daily driver. I mean, the car was cleaned 2 days ago, and it's already filthy because it just does miles.
So yeah, a pretty nice surviving example of one of these. I really like the rear lights, the way they curve around the edge of the car. Simple badging with your Morris Marina 1.3, nothing too fancy. This is the smallest engine you could get in this car, the 1275cc A series. Alternatively, you could get the 1.8 litre B series engine. It's a super, don't forget, and more BL plug hole action. Round the front end, this sort of grill arrangement is unique to the 1300 cars, the early 1300 cars at that. It's sort of similar to the Dolomite with this sort of separation down the middle and the horizontal slats, but with twin round lights rather than the Dolly's rectangular ones. This car has raised digit black and white plates. A bit old fashioned for the model, but don't look out of place. Nice font on the Marina badge as well, I like that. Tax is out though, which is a bit naughty. Around the back we've got a nice original dealer sticker. A nice surviving piece. We've also got this litre to gallon conversion chart, which is pretty cool. And around the front, crook lock. This car protected by. Very nice indeed.
So, yeah, I'm quite taken by this. Let's see if we can open the bonnet and have a look underneath.
Right, so the engine bay and the ubiquitous 1275cc BMC A series, used in so many cars. Kind of ridiculous. Seem to have a new radiator in this one. I think I assume that's date stamped 79. Must be quite a late one. Certainly looks new. Exact same expansion bottle as I've got in the Dolomite. BL part spin at its finest. I've got a air filter here pointing down to suck in cold air from the bottom of the car, and a single SU carburetor. Lovely Trico windscreen washer bottle here. Plastic fan, belt driven of course, the alternator, nice Champion spark plug leads, and they start a solenoid and coil, and wiper motor. Really nice engine bay, loads and loads of space to work in, a couple of warning stickers. What survives? Quite a few nice surviving bits on this car, presumably because it was stored in a barn for ages, effectively. Yeah, about 60 horsepower, which is more than adequate for powering a car of this size along, or at least it was in 1971 at least. And these 1275cc units just went in all sorts of cars, from Allegros to Austin Morris 1300s. They went in these, they went in minis. They just kind of BL threw them in basically anything that they could fit them in. But yeah, miles of room to work on. Lots of parts bin stuff. I reckon everything is pretty much available for these mechanically. Also nice and solid in the engine bay. Inner wings are really clean. Structure of the car is quite impressive really. It's just cosmetically challenged.
I do love these original cars. And they're a bit scruffy and they wear their history proudly. So I'll take it a spin, I suppose. Just as an aside, I was about to set off for a drive. I just found this in the back seat. Quality. So I've been advised that the tickover is a little bit low on this. So I've got quite long gears. I'm used to the Acclaim, it's a bit unusual. It's much more akin to the Dolomite. And brake off. And it pulls nicely, it seems to be quite a torquey engine. Oh look, it's trying for Acclaim. There is a rather squeaky drum. So these are drums all around. So surprised it's still idling when it goes down that low. Right. Yeah, these are four-wheel drums. I just looked up the specs there for the 1275. Apparently they get about 60 horsepower. Third from 20 mile an hour, picks up really very nice. Adds us up to the best part of 50 miles an hour without rather top gear. I'll say, as handling goes, it's not exactly a sports car, but it is quite comfortable. It's quite well. Like, this is a fucking horrible road, but it's absorbing all the bumps. Like, there's a lot of rattles in the cabin from various bits of trim, etc. But it's not uncomfortable, I'd say. This fucking road is shit. There's a lot of yellow chalk on this road to say, fix me please. Probably wouldn't want to rally this thing. Apparently it has a rather tired shock absorber on one side, which does make it a wee bit faulty. Brakes need a good shove. But, you know, four-wheel drums, isn't it? Just one fun fact, the heater blower is quite loud. But decent air output, single speed. Right, so I'm hoping that this next stretch of road is slightly less, what's the word, horrendous. I'm really surprised it doesn't stall with it idling so low. And this is a twisty bit of road here. It's not terrible. It's a bit vague, not quite as direct as the Dolomite, but it's not like undrivable. Remember, this is 1971. I can imagine it would get a bit understeery if you were really pressing on, but I don't think this is really a car designed for pressing on. It's kind of A to B, back to A, maybe via C. Bloody hell, it's 60. This is a lot more relaxed in top gear than the Dolomite. If this is 60. I think the speedo may be slightly optimistic, but this lights on quite happily indeed. It's got that nice old car smell, the kind of petrol-y, oily, warm vinyl. Granted, all I can really compare it against is a Triumph Dolomite, which was kind of a different class of car. They were more expensive than a Marina, and they were a more upmarket brand. I can't imagine this would compare too unfavourably to a Hillman Avenger or its ilk. Runs nice, temperature at normal, has missed a beat. Mechanical fan on this. The acclaim has been running a bit hot today because it is warm. The four-wheel drums do take a bit getting used to. I don't know if they're servo assisted on this. They do need what can only really be described as a damn good shove to bring the car to a satisfactory halt. Let's drive it back to Glasgow. No. It does have a bit of a pull to the right on the braking. It does stop if you really step on it, but it isn't the finest of braking systems. Nice engine. Revvy, eager, picks up quickly. Nice horn. modding goes, this is kind of ideal, realistically. This is not a great road surface. And the Duff shock does make things a wee bit wayward. These are a 1.3 litre 1275cc, about 60 brake horsepower, top speed of about 80. 4-speed manual gearbox. Yeah, it goes nicely. Now you can use this every day. The current owner does use this every day, Steph from the iDriver Classic channel. She's driven over 200 miles to get here, and we'll be driving over 200 miles to get home. I like it, it's comfortable. It's like a relaxing cruiser. Incidentally, that lay-by is when my Dolomite's engine finally expired 2 years ago. So maybe this area is cursed, hopefully not. The last time I went down this road in this direction was walking at 3 in the morning to try and find a hotel room for the night. Maybe I should have bought Morris Marina, because this seems to be doing the job admirably. Then I think it could probably do with some adjustments to the brakes, but it's does everything adequately. I don't know if that's the most glowing recommendation. It does everything adequately, but you know, that's what this sort of car was designed for. It's family transport A to B, and cheap. Synchromesh on second, a bit tired. I keep forgetting to double clutch because I am a bad person. Okay, that time it has not idled, it has stalled. That's quite fun though, I like that. Take her up for a quick spin on the motorway. Just up to the next junction. Miles an hour, just happy to go. Man, this would be a nice motorway car actually. That's impressive. Love the sound of that British Leyland indicator flasher. Bank, it's like circuit at Brooklands or something.
Now, the Morris Marina receives a fair bit of criticism, and I think it's not really entirely justified, most of it down to the rudimentary suspension design. Now, it's true that the front suspension is derived from that of the Morris Minor, which uses torsion bars and trunnions essentially, with lever arm dampers, which by 1971 was pretty old hat. But it was a cheap solution for a family car at the time. The back is also not particularly advanced, it's just standard leaf springs. Although the Ford Escort has leaf springs and nobody ever complains about those, so, swings and roundabouts, isn't it? Now, early pre-production cars were famously panned by the press when they were first initially released for testing, because of terrible handling and terminal understeer. However, this was reworked before the car was actually released to the public, and again, when the Mark II and Mark III cars came out, the suspension designs were significantly overhauled with each iteration. So, in real terms, while they may have been slightly subpar at the beginning of their lifespan, by the end they were probably comparable to most other cars. Overall, I've really enjoyed my time driving this Morris Marina. It certainly feels its age, and it certainly feels in many ways not quite as advanced as my Dolomite, which is a similar sort of age. But you've got to remember that the Marina was a cheaper car, and it was aimed at a different market as well. So I had great fun driving it around country lanes and just sort of having fun. It was great to be back behind the wheel of a 1970s car, as I hadn't really driven anything this sort of age since my Dolomite's engine blew up. So yeah, great fun. And thanks to Steph for coming up to pretty much Scotland to drive the Acclaim, and for letting me drive her at the time only functioning car. Quite brave, because I'm incompetent and repeatedly forgot to double clutch when going into second, like she told me to do. What can I say, I'm not a particularly good friend. Yeah, the Morris Marina. I like it. Maybe I like everything. Maybe I'm too easily pleased. Who knows? Anyway, more to come later. More videos are in the works. More cars are planned to be driven. It'll be great. It'll be fun. And I will leave you with a compendium of British Leyland car sounds. Enjoy. So yeah, this video was stuck in production hell forever because a lot of the audio was completely ruined because the wind was loud and I couldn't be bothered recording the overdubs, and then I was really busy fixing a Triumph Dolomite. However, hopefully I should now be able to start pumping out videos a little bit more on the regular again, but we'll see, because it didn't work last time, did it?